welcome back. I am Bahamut, your caster, and we have a Nexus game on our hands. This is the Nexus Gaming Series. On the left-hand side, we have Team Sinix, and on the right, #1 in innovation. Let's see what they can innovate this game. I'm curious. I am Bahamut, your caster. Thank you so much for stopping by. I'm really excited. We have quite a lot going on tonight. We've got this game, and then directly after this game, we are going to have another scrimcast between another two teams within the Nexus Gaming Series. So just constant Nexus Gaming Series teams just popping out here and showcasing what they got. Now, this is Division A, so you know this is the higher, I guess, tiers as they would call it for the Nexus Gaming Series. Either way, we have a Tassadar hover here for Sky Temple. Not a bad idea. The AoE that he had, or well, I guess the Vision AoE because it's a gigantic circle. Is really powerful, as well as his solo lane ability, his ability to enable auto attackers extremely well too. That's another thing that they need to consider. So they're going to go ahead and just ban that out right away. They do not want to deal with that. No, I'm curious. Ooh, straight into an Abathur ban here. That's interesting. Oh, thank you so much, Rory. Thank you for the follow. All right. This first pick, though. Estar, thank you so much for the follow as well. I really appreciate it. Thank you to everybody who's following. Just want to check my little Streamlabs asset's going to be updating. There we go. Okay, cool. Looks like that has gone through. What are they going to be going into here? First pick. Globals are a priority in this map. I wonder if they're going to go into the Dahaka here. I'm curious. No, they're going to go into the ETC. I like that. That's a strong first pick. ETC has been making a lot of rounds lately, honestly. He has been back and, you know, with a lot of good with it. It's a lot of widths. Either way, we're going to have actually Dahaka and Rhaegar picked up on the side of #1 innovation. So they're going to get that global threat as well as the chain heals from the Rhaegar. So it's going to be pretty good for their anytime they're fighting on these points. You definitely can benefit from that quite well, as well as an ancestral healing does give that second health bar to a tank or assassin needed. Now the question is, what are they going to pair into this ETC before we go into the ban phase here? Greymane being a pretty good solo laner, as well as just being very good on the shrines and just overall in a fight. So we might have a hover on that. Now we do know that #1 innovation will be going into a secondary tank because they're not going to solo with the Dahaka. So Greymane, Curse Bullets on the table. And then honestly, I think you pick Stukov with that. He works in the same way. I think the burst of his healing is pretty powerful. The zoning from the Lurking Arm is extremely beneficial for a team. I definitely think those are the two that I would be drafting in this situation. But they're going to go for the Uther and Vala here. This is interesting. I like that. Now, the thing I'm wondering is, are they going to just... Okay. I was wondering, I was like, are they going to solo hyper carry with a Vala? Because it's a possibility. Because you can then go into... an Arthas with the ETC wouldn't be a bad idea. But it looks like we're going to have a Cho'Gall hover here. That's interesting. But on the side of Sinix, if I was looking at the draft currently, I would maybe be focusing on... They could be going to the double global. They're going to go ahead and ban out the Cho. But they could go into the double global here. There's a lot that they can pick up, honestly. Israel, I do not know what UI you are talking about. But we do have these next two picks out of number one innovation. I like the idea of going into the double global on this map. I think it's quite interesting. Falstad does provide a very good boss control. And then I think you honestly go into an Arthas with that as well. And then you can flex on that last slot. Maybe even going for some melee damage there. Or, well, melee assassin. Or you can just go into... Well, they're going to go for the Diablo and Li Ming. I like this. Diablo being able to reposition a lot of the members around here and definitely isolating a few. The resets that you can get off of the Li Ming can be catastrophic on these points where you kind of want to be on them, so it does give Li Ming a little bit of a target, so it is a little bit easier for her to go ahead and hit those orbs. Number one innovation, the draft coming out from them, quite interesting. These last two picks, though, what is Sinix going to be going into? They could solo tank and solo heal with the Uther and run a triple assassin. That is a possibility. But currently they don't really have a solo laner. We could be seeing Sonya here. Malthael's even reasonable, I think myself. They actually, you know what? A Malthael and then Sonya for the so she can jungle throughout the game. They're going to go for Lucio Malthael. Okay. So they go for the extra healing. The break it down will be extreme. That'll be really good. The shielding you get from that will be beneficial for the teams. But what is the last slot they're going to take here? I don't think they're going to hyper carry with a Li Ming, so I definitely think they're going to be going into some sort of other damage. Now the question is it going to be ranged or melee? Rhaegar still being available, or not, Rhaegar's actually already picked up. Greymane still being available. I personally think he is quite good with the 4-man in this situation. I think he would round out their composition quite good. Overlay team names. Oh, I currently have those off. I turned them Viking setup. Actually, that's not a bad idea, Crosby. That's Cassia. But there's a lot of Cassia been popping up lately, and from what I've been talking to a few people, she is. The damage numbers are supposedly there. I have not fiddled with it myself. I've only casted one game. Actually, I think it was Crosby's game that I casted where they played Cassia on Tomb of the Spider Queen, if I'm not mistaken. But either way, we are going to be getting into this game here. Team Sinix versus number one innovation. I'm excited about this. All right, and on the left-hand side, we have Venero on Malthael, Caleb Reese on ATC, Sargeras on Lucio, Valimar on Vala, and Treebeard on Uther. That is Team Sinix. On the right-hand side, we have number one innovation with Chrissy on Cassia, Kairos. I practiced these right before, and then I was just, the moment you see him, you're just like, crap, what do I say? Kairos on Diablo, Light God on Dahaka, Black Bandits on Li Ming, and Amin on Rhaegar. That is going to be number one innovation. All right, pulling into this matchup, let's discuss some of the laning here, as well as we're going to look at some of these level 1 talents. Now, typically in this situation, I wouldn't be too surprised to see the Malthael in the solo bottom up against the Dahaka, and then they would probably run their Vala Uther together, and then Lucio ATC potentially. Or maybe you run the Lucio and the Vala together. Either way, but then probably in the solo lane we'll have the Dahaka, and then maybe Li Ming Diablo, and then put the Cassia by herself. We're going to find out here, but currently we have the majority of the teams just kind of hanging out. Looks like the Watchtower will be picked up by Team Sinix here. And they're just going to go ahead and just play extremely safe. A lot of these teams just posturing, and I think Sinix is throwing this game off a little bit for number one innovation. They're looking for each other. The retreats are called out. I mean, this is just an interesting start. Typically, we just have that mid lane matchup and people just go right into each other, but that is not the situation here. And we do have a potential flank onto Chrissy here from Sogaris. We do have Malthael getting quite a bit of damage out onto her, but that will not yield a kill. Peeking down into the mid lane. We actually have a rotation from the Diablo and the Rhaegar at this point. Now, the Lucio will see this coming. He's actually going to make a round once again, and Amen will not get booped. That's what I was wondering if he was going to get if he was going to get pushed back. Currently, though, we do have Black Bandits versus Caleb Reese in the mid lane. Looks like there will be a power slide on to Black Bandits, but there won't be a kill. Diablo kind of just pushing him back there, making sure that he kind of steps back. Now, we do have a burrow in from Dahaka behind Valamir. Do we get the pull? It looks like there will be the vault away. Light God will not get that, but we do have the shrines currently popping up. Now, Amen postured up into this bush. Looks like they're just going to be kind of waiting for the majority of the team to be rotating onto this point. But it looks like Team Sinix is just going to go ahead and push out bottom. Are they going to give up the lane? They're currently holding the Dahaka down here. Now, he doesn't have Brush Talk for probably another 20 or so seconds. He did use it to get down here and go up against these two. Treebeard and Valamar rotating out. Blackbeards and Amen. Excuse me, Blackbeards. Black Bandits and Amen just working on this shrine right here. And we actually have Malthael soloing the top currently. Now, I'm curious to see if there's going to be an invade from the Diablo and the Cassie up there. Currently, we have Black Bandits just throwing out a little bit of damage. 4s are achieved on the side, actually for both teams currently. We do have the majority of Team Sinix rotated up into that top area to zone a few of the members away. And it looks like we're going to have a pretty even trade on these shrines at this point. Realistically, there's like minuscule benefits. I don't know if it was ever changed, but there was like supposedly if you grab top, it's a little bit better than grabbing mid for experience. Then one's better than Light God actually getting stunned out of that burrow there. Currently just Uther being held back, but they still have their Lucio up into this top lane. They are able to just make sure that they don't lose out too much. And they actually get the top stolen away by the rest of number one innovation. But meanwhile, in bottom lane, we have had ETC currently just laning up here, pushing out this lane a little bit more. This is just getting pushed back. They're leaving this, and they're going to rotate up into the mid lane at this point. Looks like they're just playing extremely safe on both teams. They're just waiting for a lot of those later game talents. We currently have Malthael going up against Light God. He must have brush talked into the top lane there, making sure that he doesn't get too much value. Meanwhile, Valamir will get a little bit of a push with these Siege Giants. And at the same time, I believe we are not too far out from another shrine. Should be probably another minute or so. And this will be the bottom lane one, so we will see most of the teams converging down there. And this is where the Dahaka value is going to come out. They're going to be, actually, they get the tongue onto the Malthael, but Sogaris is here. They are potentially able to zone him away. Are they able to keep him from retreating? No. He does get out, and with half health, he will just hearth, and I'm assuming he's going to have the brush shock. But that's the one thing that I was going to note. So I was saying that the value from the Dahaka is that he's going to hold the Malthael in that top lane. But unfortunately, if this shrine does pop, Dahaka can just burrow. So, oh, no, he actually burrowed straight into the Malthael. But we currently have this gate in bottom just getting demolished. So Garrett's trying to get a pushback here. Caleb Reese as well. The orb's coming out from Black Bandits, just zoning a few of these members back here. But this will be just a disengage at this point. They're going to go ahead and rotate into their mid, push that up a little bit, and probably they're going to have to dedicate someone else maybe for this push. No, it looks like they're going to go ahead, have the temple popping up here. Currently in mid, though, we do just have Treebeard going up against Christy. She will be pushing that lane up, and actually, are they going for a potential pick onto Malthael? They don't have the vision. He can see that that one is grabbing it, so it looks like Venera will walk away from this. But this is the majority of number one innovation. Currently, just their entire team realistically is in top lane, and that gives a lot of free push on the side of Team Sinix in this bottom. Currently, actually, they're just going to counter it. It looks like number one innovation will go ahead, and they're just going to They're going to go with away from grabbing the shrine. They're going to push this top lane. And this is interesting because it looks like they're just currently racing. And actually, on the side of Team Sinix, they are getting a little bit more value, seeing as how they did already get the fort here. Currently pushing up the lane, but they don't want to go too far because this is the death bridge. You know, this is the point where you get caught out, and it's not as bad as the top lane in Dragonshire because that one, you know, it's either at the gate or in the lane. This one, you actually have a couple different rotational options. So they go ahead, they finish out that bottom shrine, and they go and get a little bit of damage onto that keep, making number 1 innovation rotate back. Now we are close to 10s for both sides. Dahaka actually coming through this bush. We see a rotation from the majority of the team. 10s, though, have been achieved, and it looks like they're going to just turn away, well, right away, because actually 10s for both. Malthiel currently cleaning up that top lane. That fort was knocked down during the push in bottom lane. But currently, though, we have Tormented Souls, Mosh Pit, Sound Barrier, Rain of Vengeance, and Divine Shield. We actually have a little bit of a chase on to Caleb Reese here. Camp is started. He is kind of doing, he's doing the power slide dance. He's doing it. I was talking about this last night when I was casting a Medivh game. Medivh does the exact same thing in his bird form. He does that, you know, that leyline seal dance, but they're going to go ahead and actually steal this over on the side of number 1 innovation. Are they going to go? No, they're not going to go boss. I was just like, man, that would be really ballsy of them. But on the side of number 1 innovation, we have Lightning Ball, Apocalypse, Wave of Force, looks like Adaptation, and Ancestral Healing. I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah, okay. I always confuse the artwork because it's semi-similar. It's like more blue than teal. But currently, actually, we have a little bit of a chase on the Light God here. It looks like they will disengage. They're not going to go too deep for that. They aren't showing the majority of the enemy team, so they didn't really know where they are. But since that camp will pop, they probably know. They did scout out the boss for the potential. These teams are just, they're like rotating right behind each other. This is hilarious. But currently we're going to have this double shrine popping up. The Team Sinix will go ahead and be in this bottom lane, clearing that out. Now, meanwhile, on top, Light God getting a lot of that value with that global and also the lane push. And definitely making sure that that lane is constantly pressuring this keep front wall. Now, it looks like number 1 innovation will be kind of posturing up for this. They are seen by the tower shots. Li Ming finishing out that last little bit of the fort, and they actually rotate onto the boss currently. And the real question is, are they going to notice it on the side of number 1? Are you going to? They're going in for it. They currently have the Rhaegar rotating in. They give up on the shrine. This is a half health boss. There is Mosh Pit available currently, and that's the thing that I want to note. Does he have Crowd Surfer? He has to have Crowd Surfer if he's doing this. Okay, that's interesting. It looked like he was posturing up for you know, if he was going to crowd surf over the wall, then go for the mosh once they finished it out. But they went ahead and they actually just completely disengaged both teams, not going for the boss there at all. And we actually have Lucio going ahead and finishing out his level 7 talent already. Rotating with that 4-man has got to be stacking up those seconds so quickly because it's like, I think it's like around like 400, 500 seconds. 8 minutes. That's way longer than 5 minutes. But either way, we currently have a huge Divine Mosh out from Caleb Reese. So many of the members of Innovation are taking so much damage. The Apocalypse is out from the Diablo. It does connect onto a couple of the members of Sinix. We do have Diablo falling there. Will Chrissy be able to get away? Unfortunately not. The blind does go out, but they just have too much ability damage to follow up there. It looks like we do have a little bit of a chase on the Black Bandits. The orb is dodged by the entire team. Wave of Force out just to kind of move a few of the members around, get a little more damage out. And for a second there, I thought it was a core call, or at least a keep call. But they go ahead and they back off right away. It looks like they're going to go move on to the boss. Yes, okay. Li Ming is going to scout this out. She will try and get a little bit of poke damage out onto a few of the members, but Caleb Reese will body the majority of this. He will also zone out the Li Ming, making sure that she doesn't really get too much value at the poke or anything, because Caleb Reese is just going to have too high of a health pool for her to do much to him. They get this boss. They're going to rotate into the bottom here, and they're going to go ahead and also pick up the last little bit of this shrine. So a lot of good control coming back on the side of Sinix. At first, I would honestly say that this game was kind of a little bit more in favor of number 1 Innovation, but at this point, this late game, it's a different kind of beast at this point. The aggression level from Sinix has gone up. At the past, actually from both teams, realistically, they've been very aggressive. as this late game has progressed. I mean, we can already see Dahaka making these rotations into the mid, just pushing up onto that keep. We're going to stay here, though, in this bottom lane with this boss push currently. Caleb Reese getting a power slide in. Li Ming will be able to get away. Kairos will get stunned, be able to walk away, no problem. But we do have a power ball out, lightning ball out from Chrissy. The Ancestral does hit from Rhaegar. Ton of damage going on to his VM members here, though. The boss will get the slam onto this keep. That will be confirming the kill onto that. Currently, though, just so many abilities traded for no deaths, which is insane to me. Dahaka currently coming in around as they're coming off this dash boost. There is the huge shadow charge from the Diablo stun out onto Lyca here, but he actually will be falling. There's the power slide from Caleb Reese. They get the, oh my god, 3 of the members walk right into it. They get the kill onto the Li Ming as well as Cassia Amon, and Kairos taking so much damage, and that will be the death of both of them. Kairos, though, does have Soul, so he does come back in 1 second, but this is currently Sinix rotating up into the lane, going for this core, it looks like. The closest member is going to be Dahaka, coming back to life in 6 seconds. Kairos just trying to get Caleb Reese out of the way, so that way at least he can take a little bit more damage, but currently this core is starting to fall. Dahaka is back. He actually, okay, there he is. We actually get there's the death onto ETC. He did finish Proc Rock. The majority of the members of Innovation are coming out, but do they get the core is the question. Lucio running around. That is going to be game number 1. Going over to Team Sinix. GG, well played. All right, so we will need more cowbell. Hey, everybody, welcome to the stream. How are you guys doing in Twitch chat? Thank you so much for coming by. And to answer the Twitch chat thing question, the team overlay names, I usually just utilize them in the just in-game, and then when I'm doing draft, I just usually say the names of the teams quite often on the side that's drafting, so it is pretty clear. We're going to quickly look at these, and we're going to set the next lobby for the next game, because I am excited to get into our next game. Vala, the siege damage from Vala, compared to, like, I can't believe that, though, like, Vala not having that global threat, but still out-sieging the Dahaka. Not a crazy amount, but still a decent amount. It's really, really good. I absolutely love the plays from these teams. Maltheo versus Li Ming, hero damage, absolutely just phenomenal plays from both teams. Just trying to see if anything is out of the ordinary. No? Alright, well, we're going to go ahead and set the next lobby. I'm too excited about it to get into this next game, honestly. Alright, so, Braxis. We will go ahead and set up the lobby for this. Okay. That should be that one. And let me go ahead and invite the members. And oh, invite to game. Oh, there we go. Oh, so now I get to play the fun game of swapping everyone as they come in. Okay, so we are getting into this lobby really quickly. As the members get in here, we will just kind of swap team. I think that guy is the drafter for them, if I'm remembering the first game correctly. But welcome. Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for stopping by. Okay. That's something I can look at later. Just getting messages. Okay, so everything looks good on me. Oh, I'm already getting the R's. Let's see. All right, we're gonna go right into this game. And we are going into Braxis Holdout. Whoo boy. I am excited about this one. Braxis Holdout's an interesting map. 2-lane map. We often see a lot of interesting plays that come out on this map here. There's Cho'Gall ability is the one thing I want to note. Garrosh being banned out right away. The displacement is not something they want to deal with on the side of number one in innovation. Now, Team Sinix, what are they going to be picking up here? Cho ban out the gate. Okay. Wow. This is a quick draft, actually. Dang. We're going to get the Zarya pick up here right away. Shielding and Expulsion Zone, that's going to be extremely beneficial on the side of number one innovation. I actually really like that. The Expulsion Zone is going to be pretty good. The shielding she can provide is really amazing. She actually works in a sense of like an off-tank, off-shielder. Because you can't really call her a healer really realistically, but you can call her an off-shielder. That's it. She has a lot of good value in this map, actually. I'm excited about this. I don't think I've casted a Zarya game in quite some time, to be honest. Now, Team Sinix, what are they going to be grabbing in this 1-2 slot? Do they go for the wave clear healer? Gul'dan Ariel is something we do see on this map. Now the question is, are they going to want to prioritize it, or are they going to want to go back into that ETC once again? Actually, ETC Stu. Okay, first pick Chromie with a Nubrak? Like, not even like first pick a Nubrak then Chromie. It's first pick Chromie then it. That is exciting. Chromie's extremely powerful on this map because of the fact that it's a lot like Towers of Doom or Cursed Hollow or gosh, I'm drawing blank. Infernal Shrines. Any of these maps where you can stand around, where you have to stand around and either fight the enemy team or stand around for an objective. This is where Chromie or, for example, Cho'Gall, they do really, really well on maps like this because of the fact that there's a limited range in which someone's going to be. So your target is way smaller. And they're actually going to go into the Greymane ETC. A really strong pickup here. So, are they going to solo lane with the Zarya? Or is she going to be in the 4-man? We'll actually see after this ban phase. I'm curious to see what we're going to be getting. I'm really interested by this. Because typically, like, usually if you have a 3 slot in your draft, you often get your healer, assassin, and tank, and then you can flex on that last 4-5 slot. And Stukov Hover is actually really good. But at the same time, for Sinix, I question the ban because they don't have a healer, and I think Stukov is a phenomenal healer on this map. Mostly because of the fact of the zoning he provides with the lurking arm. The chain heal that he has for the 4-man is really good. The slow that he can get onto a few of the members is really good. Second tank, second support. Ezreal thinking they're gonna be going into a. Oh, okay. I look over at Twitch chat and I'm like, second tank, second support, but ETC is the second tank. No, we're talking about the fact that I look up. There's a delay, so I was just like, oh, he means that the 2-3 slot on the side of number one innovation. I was so thrown off by my own Twitch chat. But either way, we actually have Malthael being banned out by number one innovation. So Sinix gonna get the next 2 picks here. So without the without the Stukov, are they going to be going into a Rhaegar, or do they go for a Malfurion? Because I'm curious for the Malfurion because of the fact that if you do put Malfurion in the 4-man, his healing isn't the best, and you can pick up a secondary healer like a Lucio like we saw in the first game. But the Malfurion would be really beneficial to the Chromie, constantly giving mana back. I don't know how extremely mana hungry she is. I've played not a insane amount. Now we're going to have the Lucio Genji. I like the Genji here. You have the boss cheese. The rotations you can actually make with Genji are a little bit cheesy technically. He's just a cheesy character realistically. Because you can dash through bottom lane into the boss pit, then actually you want to do it backwards so you don't triggered the boss. But either way, flip over the wall, then dash through the next, and then you're from bottom to top. So actually, Genji can make stupid fast rotations, and I like that. That's a good pickup. Lucio with that as well. The AoE healing we saw in the first game is pretty powerful. Now, these last two slots, I still think that they need wave clear as well as a main healer. I like the idea with what's left and what's on the table. I think they go Gul'dan Ariel. Mostly because of the fact that it's really powerful against the Zerg wave. The poke you get from it's very good. She combos well with the Grey main. Now granted, he might be in the solo lane, so the Ariel might not be beneficial. They go for the global with the Brightwing, but what's their wave clear? Triple tank. I mean, tank. It's however you define tank, but still. Interesting. So Sonya's going to be the solo laner here. Brightwing, I like that Brightwing because if you take the Z talents with Brightwing in the 4-man in the bottom lane, you can be up to Sonya in mere seconds. So I really like the Brightwing pick here. As well as the Critterize can really counter the Genji. It honestly counters a lot of the members. Yeah, the Brightwing is a pretty strong pick in my opinion. I like the Sonya, but I'm afraid... I'm always a little bit afraid when someone's like, we're gonna hyper carry Greymane or we're gonna hyper carry Vala. Like, I just get a little worried about that because it's just like, but what if? Like, what if they body you? I'm afraid of that. I mean, but we say like there are some hyper carries that they are just terrifying. So, Innovation gets Sonya. So. Ezreal dead on. Thrall? Lucio... Nope, sorry. Dragonblade into Earthquake with Chromie's Slowing Sands? Is it Earthquake or Sunder? That's what I want to know. Earthquake would make more sense. It would pair well with the Genji and the Chromie. Honestly, I think it's going to be Earthquake in the 4-man, but who's going to be their solo laner? Either way, let's get into this game. On the left-hand side, we have Team Sinix with Venera on Verino, on Thrall, Sargeras on Lucio, Treebeard on Chromie, Valimar on Genji, and Celebrice on Anub'arak. That is Team Sinix. On the right-hand side, we have Chrissy on Zarya, Amin on Brightwing, Light God on Sonya, Kairos on ETC, and Black Bandits on Greymane. That is number 1 in innovation. Alrighty, so we'll pull into this first game, take a peek. So it looks like we're going to probably have that Sonya in the top lane. Probably going up against the Thrall. I would assume. Genji trying to dash out of that gate. We do have Time Walker's Pursuit, though, from Chromie here. I like that. Thrall going for, I believe, the Crash Lightning? Echo of the Elements, excuse me. I think Crash Lightning has the purple background. I like how when you select continuous music in this game, it still gets broken up by the administrator. But either way, let's get into this game. Bribed by Brightwing, which is actually interesting to me. Currently, actually have the majority of Team Sinix rotating into top? Nope. Okay, they're going to rotate to bottom. Zarya getting a little bit of poke out here. Chrissy is going to actually be a nuisance throughout the game doing that. So that's definitely something we're going to have to take a peek at as this game progresses. And I do believe she went to the grenade talent at level 1. Definitely going to be beneficial for her as this game progresses. And at this point, number 1 innovation is kind of holding this lane over a little bit stronger. Chromie getting some damage out into that back line, or at least trying to. Few of those Sandblasts will connect onto a couple heroes. Time Walker's Pursuit definitely aiding the team here, making sure that they kind of catch these people with these rotations, as well as giving Chromie the vision that she needs for the Sandblast. Now, at the same time, she's hitting the Zarya like she was. Definitely just going to be feeling that shield. But overall, we currently just have a nice little back and forth. They're kind of sort of winning the lane over here. They are pushing it up a little bit further, but at the same time, Chromie's just stacking up, and it's just going to... This early game, they will lose some tower. But actually, you know what? Over time, number one innovation will start pushing onto these forts because they already lost all the shots in the top tower. Chrissy taking a lot of that sandblast damage, but she did have the shield, so that's absolutely perfect, feeding into her damage there. Or his damage, maybe. Zarya definitely just able to get a lot of shielding from this, and definitely good against the Chromie here. And we do currently have the beacons starting up. We do have Genji poking a few of the members as well. Time Walker's Pursuit revealing some of the areas, showing where a few of the members are. Just peeking into the top lane, we do have Venero up against Light God up here, so they are just kind of evenly matched up. Now, in this bottom lane where we're going to be hanging out, we do have a slide through onto Caleb Reese to push out from and the Polymorph as well. Valimar getting quite a bit of damage onto Zarya. The dash through. There is the shielding. And Chrissy will get out with like 37 health or something. Actually, just tapping well and coming right back into the fray here. Valimar going to be making sure that that point is held over. Kairos sliding through, but going to get burrowed on by. There was not enough time for Brightwing to... Amin wasn't there just quick enough, unfortunately. And I don't think they have any extra talents with that either, so definitely not able to get any sort of like cooldown reduction or anything like that, or any sort of shielding just yet. We'll see as we're progressing through this game what this Brightwing will be building. But at this point, with the top lane currently held over, they actually have the Genji dashing through, and this is the cheese that we were talking about. Light God taking quite a bit of damage, able to get out of there fine. Amin on the point, trying to just kind of cancel out the charge. Sandblast out from Chromie doing quite a bit of damage. Do have Kairos here bodying a little bit from the Chromie. She is currently at 26 out of her 60 stacks. Amin getting dashed through by Valimar, and that is a kill over to Team Sinix once again. Currently it's Chromie Sandblast just, and as well as Dragon's Breath just coming out everywhere. Treebeard just sniping so many of these members. Currently though in top lane we do have Light God taking quite a bit of damage. Getting really close, but Valimar rotating up here as well, trying to maybe go for that pick, but they don't get it. Now this will be a 100-0 Zerg wave in the top. Thrall doesn't have an insane amount of push on his side. He's just worked up this first minion wave to it. Looks like the catapult, the towers will have the majority of their shots. Chrissy actually getting pushed back here before you can really make rotations. And it looks like Light God will be out here trying to get a little bit of damage out onto Venero. Excuse me, Verino. But he gets behind the gate. Light God will be fine. Stun does go out from Caleb Reese onto a couple of the members. We do have quite a huge Zerg wave, though, pushing in. This is still about a little over, actually a little bit below 50% at this point. They actually get the kill onto Sonya there, and this push will continue. First Ultralisk falling here. That's also going to be sevens on the side of Team Sinix. We do have the stuff. The root is onto Chrissy. That's actually her finishing, or him finishing that level 1 talent, but is it going to get chased by a couple of the members? They will back off before these Guardians get killed out too quickly. And they go ahead and get the fort, and they're going to rotate out of this lane, get the regen globe, and it looks like a couple of them will hearth back for mana and health. Genji, meanwhile, on bottom, will go ahead and just kind of push back this push. It's going to get a little bit of value because of the fact that there is this camp that was, going up there, and Genji not being the best laner in the world, trying to make do with what he has. Now, we do have this camp currently picked up on the side of Sinix, as well as this one over here, going to be picked up by number 1 Innovation. So this is what I was talking about with this bottom lane, that the 4-man will eventually on the side of number 1 Innovation was pushing quite hard, and it looks like they're going to rotate and continue that push. The one thing we want to note really quickly here is that level 8 was achieved for Sinix, so they will have the Chromie level 10 ability, which is going to be the Slowing Sands. We actually have quite a bit of damage going on to a few of the members that are a little bit far forward. There's the boot back from one of the members. Lucio Sargeras just getting a lot of value here, but there is so many of the members just playing around the sand. The cleanse is out, but Zarya will be getting killed. That Slowing Sands, they were like rotating around the edge of it, and it was just like, I was like, no, you're just slowly dying. But that is going to be Sinix winning that fight over. I don't... Oh, yeah. That's a very good ad for Twitch. Either way, though. We have this top lane currently getting pushed in by this camp. Meanwhile, though, we do have quite a few of the members actually getting caught out here. Slowing Sands are out as well. ETC will get the heal there just to try and get through. But it looks like at this point, Sinix has been holding over this map quite well. They have this top lane push, which is doing wonders for them right now. It's holding the Sonya back quite far, and it allows them to go ahead and pick up this camp. They're going to be able to rotate people in time for the objective here, and that way it will also give them 10s once they clear a minion wave or two here. They'll probably have to get the next one. I don't think they'll get 10s off of this wave. Either way, they are just on the cusp, and I apologize for that. I completely missed that fight. There we go. I did not hit control when I was hitting the 1 key. My fingers fat-fingered there, and I pulled this away. My apologies. Either way, though, did not miss too much in that fight. Just looks like the 10s were achieved. They went ahead and picked up. It looks like Sundering, so they didn't go for the Earthquake. Break It Down will be used by Lucio. Slowing Sands by the Chromie. Dragon Blade from Genji, and the Web Wrap from Anubarak. So look to see that Web Wrap probably being focused onto the Brightwing. That way they can get into this backline. Or maybe even the ETC Zarya. I'm curious to see what they're going to be kind of isolating. Realistically, if they put it on the Grey Mane, they have no damage, sorta. But at the same time, we'll see what's going to be coming out of number 1 innovation. They currently, Kairos is getting bodied here, but able to get out. Now, the Web Wrap does go out from Caleb Reese. Fortunately, there are no members really postured around for this. They get the clear, and they also get another 100% Zergway, but this will be pushing bottom lane currently. And this is going to be a powerful push. Now, Lucio finishing level 7 talent already. Funny. It's just like I was like sitting there doing the math for a second. I was like, wait, how did he finish the level 7 talent that takes 8 minutes at 8 minutes? And then I was like, wait, it stacks around 4 people. Duh. Either way, we do have 10s achieved on the side of number 1 innovation. We actually have Expulsion Zone from the Zarya. It looks like Emerald Wind from the Brightwing. Wrath of Berserker from the Sonya, which we just heard go off. Mosh from ATC, and Go for the Throat from the Grey Mane. Quite a bit of damage is being thrown out onto a few of the members here. ETC getting that slide back. Kairos will be able to get safely through this gate. Black Bandits getting a little of that poke damage out onto this Zerg wave here with the Gilneas Cocktail, as well as just some of these shots. And it looks like Sinix will just play the safe game here. They are going to get the slow onto a few of the members, so there is no chase. They don't get the stun from Anubarak, so ETC still chasing here. Kairos, they really want blood. They actually go ahead and they're going to back off. Meanwhile, though, they did leave one Guardian. One still. Oh, okay. Black Bandits will go back and go ahead and clear that out. But they do see it on the side of Sinix, and they know that there's no damage, so they go ahead and they rotate onto these members. There is the Web Wrap out onto one of the members. Dragon Blade does go out. Kairos is falling extremely low here. 70 health. He actually ends up falling. We have the Emerald Wind from Amen, but it's not able to push any of the members back. We have Grey Mane jumping in. Unfortunately, is not enough. Expulsion Zone out from Chrissy, trying to zone some of these members away. Black Bandits taking so much damage, getting the double kill onto Chromie and Lucio, but Genji going to be falling here as well. Venero actually going to be falling a little bit low. They actually had the Anubarak went back. Okay, whew. I was about to say he just left his throw all by himself. But that was what a trade. So what that did do on the side of number 1 innovation, they definitely got a little bit of value because of the fact that they did close that experience gap. It's now gone from about 2 level to, just about a level. So this is definitely something in their favor. Now, 13s will be achieved on the side of Sinix first. And I'm curious to see if they're going to be taking any sort of aggressive posturing with this, or if they're just going to play the game safe, wait for the beacons to spawn. Caleb Reese already scouting out this boss. There was the Time Walker's Pursuit. ETC will slide in and get a huge 3-man mush. There's so much damage out onto Sargeras there, but they do get the interrupt from the Anubarak. Amen through this Slowing Sands. Will get the Emerald Wind. Able to get out with like 100 health. Lucio will use Break It Down, and they start to chase onto a few of the members. Light God taking so much damage. Sonya will be falling here. Kairos looks like he could be next on for death. Shielding does go out from the Zarya, able to protect. There was no follow-up slowing or any damage from the Chromie, but they go ahead and they move right on to this boss. And there's the Genji cheese, as we talked about, already whittling down the boss's health to half. Once again, down to... Come on, Blizzard, please fix. They go ahead, they lock up this boss. It's going to go ahead and rotate into their top lane, I believe. It always goes for the strongest lane, which, yeah, they'll be top. They go ahead and they also, on the side of Sinix, they pick up both of these beacons, and the Zerg wave will start charging for them, already hitting about 30%. So Kairos will go ahead, rotate onto this point, stall out the beacon at about 50%, and he's going to get the Hearth on the beacon as well. Yes, he's going to be going straight back. They're going to defend for this boss. They actually send Genji. Genji's actually on the side of this wall. The Hearthback is out from ETC, so he jumps back onto that wall. And they're going to go ahead and just play behind this boss. They're playing extremely safe here. They don't want to lose out too much. But the question is, that Zerg wave, it's coming top lane, and this boss is still half health. This is the do or die push on the side, the do or die defense, but Chrissy taking so much damage from Chromie, just landing so much sand onto these heroes. And that will be the boss falling, but at the same time, they currently have a Zerg wave already rotating up into this lane. So the pressure never seems to end. Now, at the same time, this did give them a little bit of time on the side of number 1 Innovation to go ahead and get a little bit full on some health here. Kairos trying to zone a few of the members back. Does not look like it's going to be enough for now. The Zerg wave will not even arrive yet. Baneling's still intact. Those are probably going to be going ahead and clearing out the minion wave here, getting a little bit of damage onto a few of the members. Like God taking a little bit himself. Now the Banelings are over, so we do have the Ultralisk coming onto this core. This is a huge push on the side of Sinix. How will number 1 Innovation defend it? That is going to be the question. Currently have just a lot of safe play on the side of Sinix. They actually get the full retreat, and they're just going to back off here and play this safe. Now 16s are extremely close for them. The question is, what do they do? And at the same time, they also have these archers currently stacked up in bottom. So they're going to need to rotate at least one person down there to clear that up, because it will be another minion wave that will come in and just stack up on top of that. Now, granted, it's not going to lose the fort, but still, it's pretty powerful that you can slowly just lose over a fort from stacked up minions. Now we do have this bush party from Sinix. Valimar potentially getting caught out here. Caleb Reese able to get out as well. My stream deck completely freaking out there. I apologize. There we go. Bumped my stream deck and it just went through all the scenes, I think, at once. We still have audio. That's all good. Okay, good. Apologize for that. But we do have this bottom Zerg wave currently pushing up, but we do have a huge fight starting out. They do want to take this before 16s are achieved. Kairos kind of splitting the team here a little bit. They're just kind of, it looks like they're playing extremely safe on the side of Team Sinix. They're just not trying to take a fight at this point. Anytime that it looks like number 1 Innovation wants to force a fight, Sinix just backs off and just waits till they can, get some positional advantage on the map, or they have the talent advantage, because at this point, if they play safe, first off, there's catapults currently stacking up in top lane. They only need about a minion wave or 2 or even a kill. Now the question is, do they get it? They currently get the body block onto... They actually get the web wrap out onto one of the members. They start to burn this down right away. Kairos taking a little bit of damage there. We'll be able to get a little bit more onto Light God, but the one thing we need to note is there is the stacking of the minions. We do have this bottom lane. This is what I was talking about. These archers are going to stack up onto this keep. That's going to be something we need to deal with. This top lane, these catapults are going to be a nuisance. Now, they do have the soft camp currently pushing in top, so this will kind of counteract the sieging from that, but at the same time, we currently have the bottom being held over by Team Sinix. Now, the top looks like they're going to rotate their team here and stay in bottom, making sure that number 1 Innovation gets the damage that they need for this team fight, because this is all... Well, they shouldn't be taking a team fight. But currently just going to have Kairos taking quite a bit of damage from Chromie, able to heal that right back up. No big deal. Genji going ahead and capping top. And we will get a little bit of burst out, but it will not connect onto any of the members. Now, that camp has been cleared in top. They actually get the burrow onto 2 of the members here. There is a dive forward. Genji is going to be dashing out as well. Rawl uses the Sunder. There is the web wrap out onto one of the members. Expulsion Zone is used as well. Amin is now out of the web wrap, but a huge mosh goes to go out. Looks like we are going to get the kill onto the Genji here from the Grey Mane, but Caleb Reese in that back lane will be a nuisance and actually poking a few of the members. We actually have Thrall getting the kill onto Grey Mane, and it looks like we actually have Zarya falling to the Chromie. Like God is getting chased down. Looks like there will be the kill from Chromie once again. Amin using Ice Block, but this will be the end already. Black Bandits calling GG. Team's going to rotate into the top lane, and I believe they will go ahead and also get the Zerg wave pushing into bottom. But they're going to go ahead, rotate onto this keep, or this core, excuse me. And it looks like this is going to be GG's potentially. They're going to chase after this ETC here. Venero trying to do a little bit of damage, but we do have Greymane currently up. He will actually clear out the catapult, so the pressure that they had stacking up currently isn't there. A few of the members are coming back. They chased around this ETC for quite a bit, and they might actually... It might hurt them here. They're slowly whittling down the core. This is the slowest. But Chromie's actually going to fall here. Do they start to turn this around? Sargeras is falling a little bit low himself. 14%. Caleb Reese is on this core. And do they save it? No, they don't. Second game going over to Team Sinix. They will take the 3 points. GG, well played.